Guys and gals, welcome back. Hope you've been awesome. I know it's been a while, but we're gonna get back to it. So today I'm gonna go over a tool that I started using and have been using for a few weeks now. And honestly, I would go out and buy it again just for the fact of, it's this guy. So it's by a guy on Etsy called RESharpening. You can kind of see it etched into the 3D print there. But I'll go dive down and show you kind of the ins and outs of this thing, because for sharpening, especially if you're doing like one by sharpening, it's hard to beat. So you may be asking yourself, Sam, why would I want something like this? And if you're not, well, I'm going to show you regardless. And for those of you that are curious, well, now here's the answer. It allows you to make some custom belt sizes. So let's pretend this is just a 1x30 belt, or just a 1x belt. When you hold something like a karambit over that, you're only really hitting on 2 points. Maybe it truly is just 2 points, but you've still got a pretty good amount of the blade that's not touching. So you have to be a lot more focused and detail oriented to make sure that you're hitting the whole blade. As opposed to, so how I'll typically sharpen when I do a karambit or something along those lines, I'll go on the side of the belt. So it allows me to hit the whole thing, but it wears out belts really quick. So that's the real problem with that. But with this, it allows you to make a custom belt size. So instead of it being 1 inch, it can be 1/2 inch, it can be 1/4 inch, or it can even be 1/8 of an inch. So this is adjustable by 1/8 of an inch for every blade that you put in. So you can make a few, like you can make a bunch of 1/8 inch ones. You can do like what I have here, where I've got a 1/2 inch belt, a 1/4 inch belt, and 2 1/8 inch belts. I mean, it's pretty much as limitless as, okay, how many eighths can you get into one? And then that allows you to hit a lot more. So you're still hitting the 2 points, but with that 1/8 inch, let's say like right there, that first one is 1/8 inch, you're exposing a lot more of that right in there. So it makes it infinitely easier to do blades like this, as opposed to on a 1x30. Still doable, but this makes it significantly easier. So we're also going to jump up a little bit higher, just so that you're not down low and you can actually see my hands working. So we've got that guy, we've got the few, we're going to make a few different belt sizes. So got my belt, throw it right in there. Sits right in there, right in the groove. Brilliant. Would be a lot easier in a vise or something along those lines, but you know me, I'm mobile, so I do not have a vise on me handy. We're going to try not to cut ourselves, but still showing you that it's very doable even if you don't have a vise. Typically, this getting it started part is the hardest, but once you're done with that, it's pretty easy after that. And we've got custom belt sizes. Pretty nice. Oh, I didn't realize I wasn't showing you in view. So you can see we've now got 2 1/8 inch, a 1/4, and a 1/2 inch belt. So a lot easier. That would be significantly easier in a vise. What I think this would be really good for is if you're somebody that runs, say, a 2x72 or something along those lines. Or even like you run the RESharpe 1x30s and you get a, sorry, 1x18s, not 1x30s. If they made a 1x30, that'd be a pretty sweet tool. I don't like their 18th inch belts. They wear out too quick. But if you were to get a 3x18 inch belt, which is a very common like belt sander kind of blade. Blade? Really, Sam? No, belt, sorry. You could technically get a few of these and split down your own 1x18 belts, which Could be cheaper, could not be cheaper, but at the same time, I personally would do something like that just for the fact of you've got, I mean, with a 3-inch wide belt, you could do 2 1-inch belts and then split the other one into as many belts as you wanted to. It'd be curious to see how this would work as like a wider unit. So RESharpening, if you see this video, let me know if you're gonna go into like building it for like the 2x72s or something along those lines, because I feel like that would be another part that you could tap into, and it would allow more flexibility just for the fact of, okay, people could buy, like, let's say there's a 3x30 belt and it's $5. Okay, typical 1x30 belts, the ones that I get ceramic, are about $3 to $4 a belt. So 3 versus 5. I'm guesstimating ballpark numbers. I'm not 100% sure, so don't take me for word on that one. But then the most labor intensive part is splitting down the belt. But so you're getting 3 belts for, let's say, $5-6 as opposed to 1 belt for $3-4. Because typically, like, it's mostly just the labor involved with creating the belts. So like the bigger belt, I've been seeing a lot of like the 1x42s or the 2x72s. Those belts aren't typically too much more expensive than the 1x30 belts. It's more the labor that's involved with cutting them down or that kind of stuff. So if you were able to get a wider belt, in theory, it wouldn't be that much more expensive, in theory, but you could then split it down and get a lot more bang for your buck, if that makes sense. So yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up. I know I've been kind of rambling a little bit, but sweet tool. Honestly, I would recommend it to anybody that's sharpening, and especially like if you're doing a lot of like hawk's bills, serrated knives, that kind of stuff. Really, it's a no-brainer. So before you all take off and just have a good part of your day, or do whatever you're gonna do with your day, I did want to cover a few things with that. First is, I'll have a link down in the description for where you can find this. It's RESharpening on Etsy, but I'll just have a link in the description, make it a little easier on your guys' life. 2, it can do like leather belts and felt belts, which I want to mess around with some felt belts just for the fact of they're significantly more flexible and like allows for more like surface cleaning and that kind of stuff. So I'd be curious, but I did split down a 1x18 leather belt because I did have an extra one. Haven't done it with the felt belts, but he says, yeah, it'll cut felt belts, which I have no doubts, just for the fact of, I mean, as long as you're using good blades, I mean, the jig holds it where it should be. So great little tool. And until next time, guys, stay happy, healthy, take care.